One of the best ways to create romantic tension and spark attraction in a woman and maintain that attraction is through playful teasing. It's also one of the most fun ways to interact with an attractive woman and build rapport and a connection. A few years ago, I remember reading this blog post by a woman. She wasn't one of those female dating coaches for men who are just jumping on the bandwagon to make a quick buck off of you guys. Just a regular woman who had a little story to share. She talked about how she was out with this group of girls at a bar, and they were actually at the bar to order drinks when some guy approached them. And he started teasing them and making fun of them in a playful way, not a mean way. They were all laughing and teasing him back before he left the group of girls and went back to join his buddies or something. As she put it, it was just a fun interaction, and he never really hit on them or anything like that. But she said that the group of ladies all found him very attractive. Then suddenly, a guy who overheard the interaction as he was sitting at a table nearby came over and apologized for men because what he saw was the teasing guy being a jerk to the ladies. Now, the author of the blog article went on to explain how the guy who came over and teased him wasn't a jerk at all. He was just a fun, confident, and bold man, which made him attractive. Where the guy who came over and apologized for a stranger's behavior as weird and awkward, and he sort of ruined the vibe for all of them. She then went on to talk about what made the teasing guy fun and attractive was the fact that he wasn't afraid to offend them, even though he didn't offend them. And the guy who apologized was seen as more careful, which made him kind of boring and just like all the other guys who are scared to death to offend an attractive woman. Now, the whole point of the article was that men who are bold and confident and not afraid to playfully tease a woman are the types of men that women are most drawn to. It was an interesting perspective since most men who are new to my teachings have difficulty believing some of the things that I teach because they've been taught the opposite their entire lives. They've been taught to respect women and never offend them above all else. Unfortunately, most men interpret that as walking on eggshells around women and never say anything to a woman that isn't complimentary or holding her at the utmost respect. Oh, and be sure to come over to my website and join the growing community about sharing ideas and advice on women and female attraction. It's completely free. And if you need my personal help and want private one-on-one coaching, you can find that there too by clicking on the coaching tab. Just head on over to soa.fm and register for free or tap on the coaching tab. You don't need to be registered to book coaching with me. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't show women respect, but most men make the mistake of being too respectful. Instead, they come across like that white knight hero who apologized to the group, or like the men talked about in the blog article who are more awkward, weird, creepy, and overall too nice. This behavior doesn't elicit emotion in women. And if you want to spark attraction with women, you must create a little tension and elicit emotion in them, or your interactions with them will be uneventful and ultimately unmemorable. You see, playful teasing is really the foundation of flirting. As a man, it's your job to set the tone of the interaction. Using lightheartedness and playful banter is key in setting the right tone. This tells a woman that your interaction with her is going to be fun and playfully challenging. Women absolutely love this back and forth banter where you're taking and throwing playful, witty jabs at each other. In fact, a good, quick, and witty comeback to her playful jabs is essential. I mean, I found that women can't seem to get enough of some humor that's just dripping in sarcasm. Of course, both men and women have to at least have some thick skin and emotional self-control so these interactions aren't taken too personal. And of course, you can't make your teasing mean, hurtful, or turn them into personal attacks. Nothing about that is fun or attractive for either one of you. This is especially important for you, the man, to not be bothered by her teasing you back and then having the ability to respond playfully. As you may or may not know, women test men for confidence and a thick skin. This is especially true when you first meet and in the early stages of dating. She simply has to be sure that you're the strong, confident man that you're presenting yourself to be before she can open her heart to you and ultimately her legs. Now, being playfully challenging can be very powerful and awaken emotions in her that she hasn't experienced for a long time. After all, like I said, most men are just terrified of offending a woman that they're interested in. So women don't get to experience this often. But the men who are bold enough to tease and challenge her are the men who really stand out and pique her interest. For one thing, this could spark her curiosity about you and make you a bit mysterious. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know how much I preach about being a bit mysterious with women. And this teasing is great because it keeps her guessing and makes her want to know more about you. This also shows her that you're confident and not afraid of being a bit challenging. Women find it very attractive when men aren't so easily sold on her beauty alone. And of course, playful teasing shows her that she's going to have to prove herself a bit before she's able to completely win you over. Just be sure that you pay attention because you don't want to take things too far. As I mentioned before, it's your job to set the tone or the vibe, but this doesn't mean that she'll just blindly follow along. If you can tell that she's starting to get a little upset or aggravated, then you should probably tone it down a bit or just stop. You also want to pay attention to timing. Teasing her, even if it is playful, when the timing isn't right, will most likely blow up your face and really upset her. Now, in my early 20s, I was dating this girl. She was pretty new at the time, but we had this vibe with each other where we would just constantly cut each other down, but it was all done in good fun, at least initially. As time went on, the playful put-downs kept escalating, and let's just say it eventually completely blew up, and not in a good way. She never talked to me again. So just pay attention so things don't get too out of hand. Now, believe it or not, I actually get people asking me to explain what playful teasing is. Now, if you don't know what that means or what those two words together means, you have bigger issues than attracting women. But I could help you find your teasing style. First, you want to look at it like whichever girl you're teasing, she's your bratty little sister. If you have a little sister, then this is going to be way easier for you to adopt. In fact, you probably already do playfully tease women, whether you realize it or not, because it's just part of your personality. If you don't have a little sister, on the other hand, then just imagine how you would tease her out of fun and love. But some ways to playfully tease women is through subtle jabs, such as, say she's dressed to the nines. You might jokingly say, geez, who dressed you? Followed by, a playful smirk. Or maybe use some playful nicknames. An example might be, say you notice that her car is a little banged up or show signs that she was in a little accident, a little fender bender. You might start calling her Crash as a joke. Now, I know these aren't great examples. They're just off the top of my head when I'm in analytical mode, but I'm sure you get the idea. But another way you could playfully tease her is through friendly competition. As an example, say you're shooting pool and you just made a great shot. You might say something like, I'm the greatest player alive and you suck. You could also be a little cocky in a humorous way. This is what the seduction community calls cocky funny. And it works because you're cocky in a humorous way and it's very attractive to women. I mean, it's a little arrogant, but since it's done in a fun way, she can't really tell if you're being serious or not. Again, it's challenging, mysterious, and a little fun. This is essentially chick crack. Now, I think you're starting to understand what playful teasing is. And not only is it great for sparking and building attraction with a woman, but it also helps in building rapport and a connection. I mean, the inside jokes alone that come from this and that sort of thing really strengthens the connection and raises her attraction. Now, if you're new to this, just remember that practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. So practice with the women you come in contact with throughout the day. Maybe girls at school, at your job, even the clerk at the checkout counter at the store. Women in general have a very playful spirit, so I promise you, you're not crossing any lines with them. And don't get so caught up in saying the perfect thing. Guys do this all the time. It's unimportant, and you will come across like a robot repeating lines if you do. It's not that you're trying to be someone that you're not. It's that you're bringing the side of you out. You want to come across like you're natural. So just have fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it, neither will she. So just enjoy the playful dynamic and let your fun and upbeat personality shine. If you do it right, you're just going to have her completely hooked. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And if you want to be notified in real time of future videos that I upload, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap on the bell icon right next to it. And if you found this video worthy of a donation, you could find my PayPal link and Bitcoin wallet address in the description of this video down below. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.